CJ Flyer back with the fire, another YouTube video. Man, we do not get enough time to breathe after this NBA Finals just ended. We're already going into next season. I didn't even get a chance to make a video about the NBA Finals. I just finished processing it, and all of a sudden, we have the draft tomorrow. So we're going to talk about some trades, and I need to preface what I'm about to talk about and just say I understand why the Celtics are blowing up the roster. I actually agree that they should blow up the roster. You know, why would you pay so much money? Why would you be over the second tax apron just to not even compete for a championship, right? Jason Tatum, he's got that Achilles injury. He's likely not going to be 100% for a 2026 playoffs run. So you're looking at 2027. And Jrue Holiday, he's 35 right now. He'd be 37 in 2027. He might not be as good. And, of course, you got guys like Al Horford. He might be retired. You got Porzingis. He's already, he's got his injury, illness woes. You never know what's going to happen. So I understand that the Celtics, they're going full blow-it-up mode, and I understand why. But what I don't understand is why make these specific trades. I think the return is absolutely awful, and I'm about to break it down. It's some really stupid trades. And I almost wonder if this was ownership telling Brad Stevens to just make the trades quick. Get us under the second tax apron before the draft or something. Because really, I cannot believe that these are the best deals that you can get for some of these players. So first, let's talk about the Jrue Holiday trade, okay? So Jrue Holiday is being sent to the Portland Trail Blazers. And in return, the Celtics get Anfernee Simons and 2 second-round picks. Now, Jrue Holiday, what he brought to the Boston Celtics, he was, I would say, the best guard on defense as far as, post defense. He was guarding the opponent's bigs. You look at the 2024 NBA Finals versus the Dallas Mavericks, he was guarding the big guys down low, okay? That's what Jrue Holiday brought to the table. You look at any of the big matchups with the Celtics, any other team, playoffs, big regular season games, what have you, Jrue Holiday is the one playing defense in the post. Not Porzingis, not Al Horford. It's a lot of times Jrue Holiday is getting switched onto them. Absolute insanity. You trade him away for a guy that, according to Blazers fans, not for a lack of effort, he's just bad at defense. He's not good. Okay? He's a great scorer. If we go ahead and look at his stats over the past few seasons, I mean, you can even see last year he's averaging 8.5 3-point attempts per game. He's making 36% of them. That's pretty good. 19 points per game. He was the leading scorer for the Portland Trail Blazers team in the points column. 5 assists. He's a playmaker. Makes 90% of his free throws. I mean, he's a great offensive player and especially a great scorer, okay? But so is Jrue Holiday when he needed to be, right? His role on this Celtics team, not usually the scoring role, more so the defense and the playmaking, okay? But he could put up 30, some nights if he needed to, right? And so that's what I just don't get about this trade is, and I get it, they're probably not done making trades. But you basically traded away your defensive juggernaut, so to speak, for a guy that hasn't played good defense and may not ever play good NBA level defense. So, I get that you got to make up for the scoring loss that, Tatum provided as you go into next season if you're trying to be somewhat competitive in 2026 for the playoffs. But I don't know. I just don't think this is a good deal for the Celtics long term. I don't think Anfernee Simons is the answer. It almost makes me wonder if they're about to trade Jaylen Brown. Truthfully, I just don't get it. I feel like this is a downgrade, and I it's nice that they're trading for youth at least, because maybe they can flip Simons for someone else later. But I think you're just giving up too much on the defensive side, and you're not getting enough back. In the other trade, we're going to talk about the other trade in a second. And I also just want to touch on real quick, Portland, what are you doing? Why are you trading your leading scorer, one of the young guys on your team, for a 35-year-old vet? That's, I don't. What are they doing? What's Portland doing, man? This is like a lose-lose trade for both teams, I feel like. I just don't agree with either side's, whatever reasons they got for it. I just don't agree with it. Now, we'll talk about the other trade. This is a 3-team trade. The Boston Celtics, the Atlanta Hawks, Brooklyn Nets. The Nets get another first-round pick. I believe they have 5 picks now in the first round of this year's draft, which is insane. And I think they're just trying to go all in on, potential generational talents or potential hidden gem players for their roster because this is supposedly a deep draft. So I get that. This is a good move by them. As for Atlanta, they get Kristaps, Porzingis, and I really feel like the value that Boston is getting back for trading away Porzingis, his injury, or not his injury, but his illness must be worse than is being led on. So you got to imagine that's why the return's so bad. But Atlanta, I feel like, is just kind of gambling here. It's like, hey, the idea of pairing Trae Young with Porzingis on the offensive end of the floor sounds very ideal. A pick and pop, pick and roll duo. I mean, it does sound pretty nice. But in reality, not sure it's going to be that good. We'll just have to see. It might at least get fans in the seats. Now, for the Boston side, because that's what we're here for. That's what we're talking about in this video. The Celtics. What are you doing? Again, you're trading away a 7-foot unicorn for a guy who's known for catch and shoot threes. And yes, he can get hot, but he is not outside of the 3-point shooting. I'm just not that high on Niang. I'm just not. Don't get me wrong. Again, great shooter, but what else is he giving you? I feel like your defense once again gets a little bit worse. Not that Porzingis ever had the greatest defense, but just because of his height and him being a unicorn and all, I mean, that dude is going after it sometimes. So in a nutshell, you are taking Jrue Holiday and Porzingis and trading them for Niang and Anfernee Simons. I mean, when you put it like that, it sounds pretty awful. I would say the potential of Simons and Niang turning into a championship caliber pieces together on the same team, I just don't buy it. I really don't buy it. Okay? I'm just not. Again, maybe it's just me. Tell me in the comments. Tell me I'm stupid. Tell me my opinion is bad. I just don't see the vision. I really feel like this had to have been ownership saying, get us under the second apron now. Do it now. Don't wait. Make the moves now. Because this feels like an all-time blunder by the Boston Celtics. And what's really funny is just thinking back to everything that's taken place in the past 365 days. We've got the Celtics beating the Mavericks in the 2024 NBA Finals. The Mavericks get a little bit better in the offseason. Celtics pay all their guys to keep the same team to go for a back-to-back championship. You got the Mavs making the worst trade in sports history and getting significantly worse, going through injury woes. And somehow, through all of that, they are going to end up being better in the next couple seasons than the Celtics. I am almost certain of that. If you look at what the Mavericks are going to have in the next year or two, again, I guess it'll depend on if Kyrie opts in or opts out of his player option here. I would be very surprised if he opted out because I don't know what kind of deal he'd have on the table right now given his injury status, and players don't always come back the same after ACL injuries, yada. But I think it's absolutely hilarious that somehow the Celtics are going to end up being worse than the Mavs after all of this, because really the Mavs don't deserve to be better after all this, after that trade. Fire Nico. Click one of the videos on your screen for another NBA discussion video, and stay tuned for more NBA discussion this week. I really wanted to talk about the NBA Finals. It just happened so fast. I needed to process it. I'll probably make a video sometime in the next week about it. Stay tuned. See y'all later.